Hi everyone! Recently, we've received a lot of requests from you concerning making a video on the most useful and effective learning tips. First of all, I would like to tell you that there is no universal pill to treat your language. Similarly, there is no universal way to learn effectively a foreign language. You have to experiment with different methods, techniques, and tools to find out which of them work best personally for you. Today we would like to share 3 most effective tips which we've chosen so that you don't have to prioritize. The first tip is reflect. You have to reflect a lot on what you are learning at the moment and what you have already learned before. It's better to keep a record in your notebook or gadget, whatever you're comfortable with, so that if it is necessary, you can look it through and analyze one more time on what was learned before, what is being learned in the moment, and what and how it can be used in the future learning as well. This is what, in fact, learning is, building the connections. For example, in your notebook, you can make a sentence like, I usually go to work by bus, to practice present simple, which you already learned before, but today I am going to work by metro. To practice present continuous, because this is happening only today, the temporary action. So that you repeat present simple, which was learned before, and you compare it with the present continuous, which is being learned at the moment. Tip number 2, be systematic but not fanatic. Maybe you already heard about this tip, but in fact it is a very effective one. It's better to learn a language 10, 20, 30 minutes per day rather than having a very long session of 2-3 hours per day. And the reason for that lies in the amount of input which makes you demotivated and unwilling to continue learning. Tip number 3, listen, listen, listen. Listen as much as possible. Listening is considered to be more effective than watching a video, for example, or watching a film. Because you don't have a picture in front of you, you don't have subtitles if it's possible to have them, and you turn to be more focused to understand the message in the audio that you're listening to. Needless to say that listening should be interesting for you, so you should choose the topics and the questions of listening of your own personal interest, because you will be more engaged, and being engaged is an essential part of learning as well. You should be smart while listening. You should do it in the smart way, in a few stages. You should have pre-listening stage, while listening, and post-listening stage. In the pre-listening stage, you should think about everything you know about this question or topic that you're going to listen to. You should also ask a question what you would like to receive the answer about in this audio. Then there is the listening part. And after that comes the post-listening section, where you trying to understand if the question that you asked before was answered in the audio that you listened to. What was the main message of the audio? While listening, you should pay attention to expressions with do, make, have, take. Most of them are phrasal verbs. The usage of these phrasal verbs in your speech make your speech natural, or as you say, native-like. So the 3 tips are, the first one is reflect as much as possible and analyze your learning. Be conscious about what you learned before, what is being learned in the moment, and what implications it might have in the future. Tip number 2, be systematic, not fanatic. Small input per day is better than a long session, but once in a while. And tip number 3 is exposure to a lot of listening. Listen as much as possible of the topics that are interesting for you. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Share in the comments more questions. We will be happy to answer them. Subscribe to our channel. And as I said, we will be happy to share our knowledge, which we got through years of teaching and learning experience. Bye.